All right. So we're going to kick off this um, webinar for today. So basically, today's webinar is titled Everything About Investment Part 2. We originally had the Part 1 some months, maybe like about 2 months back, right? So we're having the Part 2, but I've asked the guest to actually take us through a summary of what he did explain to us the last time, so that because the first webinar, everything about investment part 1 wasn't recorded, but this is recorded, so he's going to go through summary very quickly, and he's going to go to the main what he has for us for today. And I'll be asking some couple of questions, and also if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat box, or you can send them to me if you're on the WhatsApp group, any of the WhatsApp group, the Connectors Place WhatsApp group. Just find me, I'm the admin. Any admin number, just send a message. I will get it, I will respond to, I will ask the guest, and you'll get an answer. Also, before we start, if if you're not following us up on YouTube, you're not following us on Instagram, please do so at the Connectors Place. On YouTube at the Connectors Place, on Instagram at the Connectors Place. You can also follow my personal Instagram account or handle, Mboso Emmanuel. Once you say it, you will know it's me. All right, so the guest is going to join us shortly, but so that we don't take any more time than we have taken, I want this to finish as soon as to end as soon as possible. Yeah. So from last time when we spoke about everything about investment, we define investment to be investment is the setting aside of your money or sending your money on an errand for um to multiply, sending your money on an errand to bring back more money, making your money work for you, just as simple as that, making your money work for you. Many people are they know how to make use their efforts to make money. They know how to use their time to make money. They know how to use their skills to make money, right? Getting a job or you being self-employed, right? You remember, okay, if you're new here, you must have heard me talk about the cash flow quadrant, made popular by Robert T. Kiyosaki. On the left side of the quadrant, you have the employees, right? And you have the self-employed. The employees are those that go to work in the morning, come back late at night, or you work for somebody, whether remotely or in person on site, right? So you work for somebody, so you're exchanging your time, you're exchanging your ability, you're exchanging your knowledge for money after 30 days, right? You're getting a salary. Self-employed person is a person that, you know, he doesn't have a boss that he responds to or that he answers to, but he himself or herself is the boss, right? They are the boss of themselves, right? So they don't make money until they go out. Like, for instance, fashion designers, right? A self-employed fashion designer does not make money until they sew, right? A makeup artist, a self-employed makeup artist does not make money except um they make up for somebody, they do make up for somebody, so they have to be physically present, they have to do the job, right, before they can make money, right? But the thing about that kind or that system is time is limited. You have limited time. Everybody has only 24 hours, right? And how long do you think you're going to live, right? And if you are like me, you're not just thinking about how to make money for yourself, because come to think about it, how much can you eat? How many rooms can you live in at a time? How many cars can you drive at a time, right? So you can't actually make uh um um basically, so whatever you need, you can get, and you can be okay, right? But if you're like me, you're thinking about how to be generational, right? How can I leave something, inheritance, for my children's children, right? The Bible tells us that a good man leaveth an inheritance for his children's children. You understand? Yeah. The children will be able to bless you and say, oh, my dad or grandpa or great grandpa or great 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 grandma or great 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 grandpa, this for us, right? Sorry. Okay. So yeah, the great grandpa actually left this for us. So that is basically um the left side, right? And talking about generational wealth and having something to actually transfer to the next generation is on the right side of the cash flow cost, where we talk about business and investment. And so our guests in the part one was able to teach us about investment, right? It's going to
Hello,
take
good
it
evening, good evening,
yeah,
everyone.
yeah. Good evening, Mr. Adeyemi.
Sorry
Yo,
for sorry for coming up very late.
no problem, sir. No problem, sir. I was just
One,
trying to, yeah, I was just trying to do a little bit of
bit of
landing, so that once you come,
I want to call.
you can easily
You
take
can
us
easily take off on.
on a quick summary of the part one, and then you can go into what you have for us for today.
All right.
Yeah, the floor is yours.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening. Good
Please,
evening.
everybody on my or everybody under the sound of my voice, please, I want you to say hi so that we know that you can hear me clearly. Hello.
They can hear you.
Okay.
They can hear, yeah, they
Um.
can hear you.
Sorry for coming very late to for this meeting. Unexpected celebration or party. I don't know what to put it. Came up for me, so I don't have choice. I have to strike the balance here. So
All right, that's
um,
understandable.
yes. So let me welcome everyone under the sound of my voice once again and say happy Salah celebration. Um, Today I'll be talking about the reason why we should invest, because oftentimes people have heard about invest, come and invest, and sincerely, nearly all of us don't even understand or know the reason why we should. How important or how paramount you know it is. But as I speak with you right now, the global economy is currently experiencing what is called inflammation or inflammatory pressure on the global economy that could end up leading to a recession. The way I'm looking at it, we might end up in a recession very soon. Having said that, there is a warning from the major international rating agency, that is Bloomberg, Barclays Bank of the United Kingdom, then also Goldman Sachs in the month of April. Um, Currently, the war in Ukraine, the war in Iran,
Yeah, Iran
the war
and
in
Israel.
Iran, US, Israel is actually putting global economy on too much pressure as a result of shortage in supply of crude oil. So the global economy at large. You know, when you have a short supply to the global economy, naturally what happened? Demand continue to increase every day as a result of number of human population increasing by the day, and population is going down. So what do you think will be the end result? The end result is simple. Price of goods and services. When there is a shortfall in supply, that means price of goods and services will do what? Will rise as a result of cost of operation for manufacturer or major um, companies and firm globally. So looking at that angle, we realize that price of goods and services will rise. There is no doubt. When fuel prices at 1,300 and 1,400 naira, you know what that means to supply chain. It means that price of which goods and services are being supplied will jack up naturally.
Exactly. Mm.
And when that happens, it affects what? Cost of operation. When cost of operation is being affected, naturally the purchasing power of you and I will do what? We go down because price of goods and services will rise. So this has been the major challenges in the last 2 months, majorly in the month of April and May. So global economy, financial leaders, central bank have been battling with how to, rectify or how to find solution to this current trend. And in my own conclusion, if this trend continue till end of the year, that means global economy will slip into recession absolutely, because there is no how we can um, we can contain this level of pressure. You know, company continue to pay very high amounts in regarding cost of operation. You and I continue to pay high amounts as a result of purchase of goods and services. And what happened to the general economy? You understand me? Inflationary pressure continue to rise. When inflationary pressure rise, naturally it lingers into recession. So recession is the reason why you and I should invest, because there is no certainty on the medium term that there will be stability. So this is just one reason why we should invest. Naturally, the money we hold in our hand, the value continue to depreciate because the money we are holding chase lesser goods and services compared to where we were before. When the money chase lesser goods and services, what happened to us? Complaint will set in. We won't be able to meet up with our daily needs or daily demand. And when we can't meet up with our daily needs or demand, what happen? Inflation at the highest level. So what I'm seeing for global economy this year is hyperinflation at the highest level. So what are we supposed to be doing, you and I, as a result of this? It is obvious that the salary we receive can no longer pay our bills, neither can the salary um, cater for all our responsibility. You understand me? Because the money we are holding chase lesser goods and services. So a smart person now at this critical time, when marginal propensity to consume is at 101% and marginal propensity to save is at zero level as a result of hyperinflation. As I speak with you, inflation level in the US is around 3.8% as against 3.48 in the month of April. So looking at it back and forth, the increase in price of gas, crude oil or petrol, electricity and what have you has affected what the inflationary pressure to continue to jack up. The
mm,
month of June and July to August is not far from having higher um, um, figures of inflation. So
mm,
naturally, if you look at it, the year 2006, we experienced high global inflationary pressure.
mm,
So we should begin to plan how to invest. The simple reason is the 1,000 naira you are holding today, the value between now and 3 months is no longer 1,000 naira, but the value will be 200 naira. It's as simple as
mm,
that
mm, mm.
because of continuous increase in
Increase
price
on
of
inflation.
products. So these are one of the reasons why we should invest. Core inflation itself, when you look at cost of operation for manufacturers, it trickles down into product of consumer good and industrial goods products. So naturally, the price of cement will be affected. Price of
Mm,
electricity will be affected. And
mm,
when that happened, what happened to the the amount of money we pay for house rent? That means price of rent
will go
we
up.
also surely go up. You know, when you look at all of this, that give us response that the value of money
Mm,
on the very long term can never be stable. When the value of money is not stable, then it is obvious that the amount of money you earn from your salary or you earn from your
mm,
business can never be enough to do what? To pay your bills. I am very sure that nearly all of us experience high level of pressure on our income. You know, when you earn the money, by the time you
mm,
pay all the bills, in fact, in some cases, the money is not even enough. Then how do you invest? Then you have to do what? To continue to look for ways out to invest. Else, it will be garbage in, garbage
mm,
out for a very long time. And this, over the years, has result to people, you know, fall into that category of poverty because
mm.
of continuous inflationary pressure on our income.
So,
So,
sorry, Mr. Adeyemi, I want to just come in, chip in something a little
okay,
bit. Yeah.
okay, okay.
So basically, what you're trying to say, because I know that the inflation in Nigeria is about 15% thereabout.
Okay.
So because you said the US it's about 3.8 from 3.4. So basically, which means that if you don't do anything with your money, you're already disadvantaged, right? Right?
Yes,
Yeah, if you
that
don't
is,
invest, yeah, you're disadvantaged
yes,
because of inflation is going to eat up your money. Okay.
yes, that is if marginal propensity to consume and
Mm,
marginal propensity to save will even allow you. Marginal propensity to consume is at 101%, while marginal
mm,
propensity to save is zero. So to even create or to bring out money for investment is highly difficult
mm,
right now, but it is mandatory that we invest. What you get, the benefit of investing at this time is that the value of money will depreciate over time. But when you invest your money, there is an assurance that even though it is 25 or 30% you get on an annual basis, it
mm,
retains the value. The level which Naira fall to the dollar on an annual basis about 15% and above year on year. You understand
mm,
me? So now assume you save 100,000 in the bank. Year one, you lose 15%. The money drop to 85,000. Year two, you lose another 15%. The money reduced to 70,000. Year three, you
mm,
lose another 15%. The money reduced to 65,000.
mm.
So it is better that you invest into the capital market, as I've explained the other time. Investing into the capital market,
Capital
you
market.
cannot get less than 35 to 80% on annual basis. That is, if you have a good stockbroker. Now, secondly, is the money market. Money market, even though when you are sleeping, even though when you don't even understand the terms of investment in that particular market, so long as you invest through the treasury bills, bond, or commercial paper, you have assurance that minimum of 20 25% below, you understand, is what you accrue to. So now assume you invest 100,000 naira and you get 25% on annual basis. 25% of 100,000. Year one is how much? 25,000. Year two, another 25,000 plus the rollover. So what you'll be getting in year two is about 50% of your total investment in 3 years, 4 years, like that. You understand me? You realize that you continue to do what? To continue to invest your money. But when your money sleep in the bank, or when your money is not being invested, then you experience devaluation of value in currency. So that's why we always encourage people to invest. You understand me? So I think that's the little I can say about the reason why we should invest. So I don't know if there's any question, but going forward, the only way I want you people to, everyone under the sound of my voice, to mark my words. The only way to create wealth, or the only avenue to wealth creation, is when you invest consistently or continually. You understand me? And the strategy or the logic is about, in wealth creation, is accumulation and preservation by the financial market. So I think that's the short explanation I have about today's explanation. I don't know if there is any question before I go into the the, the summary of the last class. So if there is any question, please, I want us
I think
to.
you should just go to the summary. At the end, we'll just compile all the questions together. If there are any questions.
Okay. In the last class, we talked about investment banking. And investment banking is simply how to do what? To invest, manage your resources or capital in order to do what? To create wealth or to increase capital. So under investment banking, we have different categories of products. We have product from the from the capital market. We also have product from the money market. Then we also have products from the commodity market and the currency market. So let me take it from bottom. As I speak with you now, the price of gold currently trade at 4,500 per ounce, and gold has traded about 400 per ounce this year. So the price of gold look very attractive. So what kind of investment are you looking at or thinking about? All you need to do is to get a good stockbroker that can, help you or lead you to invest in the right direction. During the year, I expect the price of gold to continue to slow down as a result of the New York Stock Exchange have been on the upside in the last a month and a half, which will surely trickle down into the month of June or June ending. So what investors should be doing now is to look at what commodity can I invest into. Silver is also the same thing. Oil price closed at $88 during the week. Make it a little bit attractive for short-term investor. For medium-term investor, you need to continue to watch and allow price to retrace downward. So I expect the price of crude oil to trade by end of the year, or by Q3, end of Q3, to trade around 70 to 75 dollars, which is very, very attractive. Else, the city of Hamas, the ceasefire between the US and Iran, if it's concluded, I expect the price of crude oil to even trade by end of the year around 60 to 65 dollars. So we continue to watch the price. Let's see how. But commodity market is actually the market to look at right now because of the price of gold. So investor can can keep tab on that. Then talking about the currency market, the US dollar continue to strengthen against other major currencies of the world, aside from the euro, that have been in serious competition with the US dollar. So I expect the US dollar to slow down the year, because the US dollar and the US economy, you know, work in different directions. When the US economy is growing and the market is on the upside, the US dollar give way. But in a situation where you have the US dollar and the market going in the right direction, into going up in the same direction, simply means by June, July, the US stock market will give up for the US dollar to continue to strengthen. And when that happens, naturally, profit taking by end of the year by international investor means the price of US dollar will trade downward. So looking at our own local currency, which is the Naira, trading at around 1,380 Naira against the US dollar. Somebody asked me, Mr. Jare, will I see the price of dollar at $1,000 this year? I said, 1,000 Naira this year. I said, it's not possible till next year. So a price around 1,001, 1,002 means a good buy, attractiveness. But looking at the local, what do you call it, the national preparation ahead of 2027 election, will surely weaken the Naira against the dollar. So a price of 1,200, 1,150 is a good buy for the Naira on the near term. Then on the medium term, I look at the price around 1,400, which will take us through end of the year. The political preparation will determine how far the Naira can go against the dollar, because when there's too much spending within the economy, naturally, you understand, that put pressure on local currency against the US dollar. So a price of 1,600, 1,550, or 1,400 is possible. That means any money back that is investing into the dollar on the near term at 1,350 can still make $100, $150 by end of the year. So that's for that. For the
So, so,
treasury market,
sorry, I just wanted to chip in. So, what you're saying is that there's still possibility that dollar to naira can still be what, like 350, 400,
currently is around 1,380,
80,
375,
okay.
depending on the market. But the price around 1,500, 1,550 is possible within the
Wow.
year. The simple reason, the political activities, when election get to a very thick period where there's so much spending within the economy, naturally that put pressure on the local currency. When there's too much circulation of a country currency within the economy, you understand me, it puts pressure on that particular currency, and naturally the US dollar, the greenback, will strengthen against the naira. So it's a good investment to look at by end of the year. You understand me? By the time we are getting to October, November, Naira won't have choice than to give way for the US dollar to strengthen. So a price around 1,006, 1,700 is not even overlooked now as it stands.
Wow, wow,
Eh,
that's crazy.
because because when there is too much money in circulation, it weakens the value of a currency. And the political spending, you understand
Mm,
me? INEC alone is spending about 350 billion, abi 400 billion for the election. Then looking
mm,
at the political party individually, you
mm.
understand me? Spending into different sector of the economy, like printing and publication, television, radio advertising,
And,
TV advertising.
and
You
also the
understand
last
me?
minute constructions.
God bless you. So all of this, you understand me,
Mm,
naturally put pressure on the local currency for the US
mm,
dollar to strengthen. So
mm,
let's continue to watch. I expect the Olayemi Cardoso led CBN governor to bring up a positive measure or measures that can help the naira, but I doubt, because the last monetary policy meeting, um, the CBN governor held the rate at 26%, or say 26.5%. So if central bank can cut rates by August to 26% or 25.5, that naturally give naira the edge, you understand me, against the US
mm.
dollar or against other major currencies of the world. But if such did not happen, then I expect the naira to weaken against the US dollar, the Great Britain pound, the Canadian dollar, the Chinese yen,
Yuan.
and also the Canadian dollar and the euro. So looking at all these possibilities together, so currency market is at alert for the money bags, not for you and I. You understand me? People that have 100 million, 150 million to invest. You understand me? If you see 50 naira or 70 naira gain, you buy at 1,350, you sell at 1,420. You have made 70 naira. 70 naira divided by 100 million. That's a lot of money. So that's for that. For the treasury market, it looks more attractive. You understand me? Federal government will naturally increase rates because the die-minute implementation of what is it called? Recurrent and capital expenditure, majorly capital expenditure. You understand me? We do what? We tempt the federal government to borrow more from the money market, which is actually the last rate was 16 point something percent. So I expect rates around 18 to 17.5%, which is a good one. If you are investing 10 million, 17% of 10 million in 1 year, that's a lot of money. So looking at all of this, the stock market continue to oscillate, waiting for company reports. But the market, like I said, for 2026 has not started because more company financial reports is being expected in the market. And when we see the report naturally and it's positive, investor will respond positively. So I encourage investors to continue to look at the stock market, the money market on the near term between now and end of the year. So opportunity to invest if anyone, decide or take decision to invest in the capital market. So I don't know if there is any question.
No, no,
If none,
I've not received any questions for now. You can just
okay.
continue. Mm.
Okay. So for equity markets, like I said, we expect more financial report from companies like Critics, Legend Internet, um, UBA Capital, that is the Q2 report, and so many more. We expect the result from the University Press, um, Learn Africa, DFD Group. That is the Q2 report. First Bank, ETC, Access Bank. Looking at the Q2. So more report from the full year 2025 and also Q2 June 2026. So in the month of June, there's no doubt the market will strengthen. The biggest investment in the history of Nigeria, or the biggest investment of all time in the history of Nigeria, that's the listing of Dangote Refinery on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. IPO, private placement has begun underground. We are still waiting for private placement. Then we are waiting for circular for the public offer. We don't know how much it's going to sell. So when you convert 20 billion US dollars into naira, are we together? I will close with
Yeah,
this.
together. Yeah,
When you convert the Dangote petrochemical industry worth of business of 20 billion US dollars into naira and is listed on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, you realize that the total capitalization of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, which is about 150 trillion, is actually what one company, just one company, is coming to list. So naturally, when Dangote Refinery is listed, I expect the price of stock on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange to continue to rally, you understand me, behind the listing. So Nigerian markets look very, very, very bullish till end of Q3, which is September 30th,
Mr.
2026.
Adeyemi, I wanted to
Yeah,
ask you about this
okay,
Dangote stuff, because I was trying to like research about it,
okay,
about it, and I suppose I got the wind of an information like saying, now you said there are private placements going on, right? First of all, can you even explain to us that some people might not know what private placement is and how this game about IPOs are being played before the public are aware? Then I'll ask
okay,
my question.
okay. The word private placement simply means if you start a small company or I start a small company, you understand me? I can look for private individuals that believe
Mm,
in the vision and the dream of the company to come and invest their money. And when
mm,
they invest, you understand me? And when they invest, you understand me? It actually add to the value of the company. That means the company will have more investor, and this
mm.
person get the company share to buy at a very good price.
At a cheaper rate.
Yes, and after the private placement, the next thing that follow is the public offer, which open the company
Mm,
into what 60% purchase of every ordinary Nigerian company for the World PLC, Public Liability Company. Currently, the company is not a public liability company. You understand me?
mm,
IPO
mm.
put the company to become a public liability
Publicity company.
company, but currently it's still a private company, a legal company. You understand me? That is subject to 50 individual investor to invest in it. It's still a public, limited liability company.
Okay.
So,
So yeah, so my question was that I got a wind of an information that, and it sounded more like uh once um once it goes public, once the refinery goes public, the rates at which is being introduced to the market and people begin to buy, that at some point it's more like the person was trying to explain that it's more like a balloon rate, right? That at some
and
point the rate will have to be going down, and it's not like a very good time to enter into the market as at that
the
first
truth is, can
introduction.
I amaze you? Can I amaze
Yeah,
you? As I
yeah,
speak
me too.
with you, Neither the private placement or the public offer am I personally buying into. Do you know why? Because I understand the market. Until the company is listed on the floor, that is when I begin to look at the company earnings, the company financial reports, the company P ratio, then the company current value before me personally will buy into my own portfolio because of what I know about the market.
Mm. So why do you have to look at all those parameters
Because
first?
okay, because one, I cannot follow bandwagon. Then two,
That's
my
true.
my investment strategy still remain the core principle of investment, which is value. If I'm not seeing value in what I'm buying, there's no how I will buy. I don't want to buy into NIM. Some people bought into NIM because it's Dangote Refinery. You understand me? But me, I cannot look
Yeah.
into NIM. The only thing I will buy is
Mm,
value. So I want to see the company financial report, see the company P ratio, see the company earning per share on every unit of shares. Then
mm,
I will decide why and how to buy. So it's simple.
mm,
Because I'm a professional in the field, that's why I'm reasoning that way. But a normal
mm,
human being will buy joining the euphoria of what Dangote Refinery is coming to be listed. So it is called bandwagon.
mm, mm, That's true.
So that is
That's
it.
true. So you so one can still buy and lose,
And
right?
now it is possible. It is possible that the company is listed today and the price
Mm,
begin to come down. It's two ways.
mm,
Okay, let me give you example. A company was listed, an agro-allied company was listed on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange early this year at 3 naira. As I talk to you now, the price is 41 naira
wow.
because immediately it's listed, people begin to buy. So it is
Mm,
possible that when it's listed, people begin to buy or people begin to sell off. So it's two ways.
mm,
When the fundamentals is positive, people begin to buy. And if they list for 5,000 naira, the price can go as far as 20,000 naira per unit. But if the
mm.
fundamental is negative, the price can come down as low as 100 naira. So it's
Okay.
value. So
Mm,
it's when
mm,
people see value in it, that's when they buy. If there is no value, no human being will buy.
mm, mm. Okay.
So that is it.
Okay. But so I guess you have actually touched on the summary of the part one, right? You've spoken about the
Yes,
commodity,
yes,
you've
yes.
spoken
Everything
about
has been talked
currency.
about in brief.
Yeah. Yeah. So I really want us to actually go into the meat of today, right? Let's see how we can do that in maybe, I don't know, based on your available time. Right. So we can just go into that immediately.
Which one?
I mean the main course you have for us for today.
And that's what I've explained now. Why you should invest is what I've just explained at the
Okay.
beginning. Explaining the
Oh.
inflationary pressure that the global economy is
Mm,
about to experience or experiencing currently that can linger into recession. So that our preparation as an investor now is to prepare ahead of recession. You understand me? Because the Bible talk about the 7 days of glory and the 7 years of famine. During the seven
mm,
years of famine,
that's
what
Joseph.
they did in Egypt was to do
Mm,
what? To keep all the what into their this thing and wait
yeah.
until the economy improve and they begin to transact. So what
Mm,
investors should be doing now is to continue to save, even though when marginal propensity to save is zero. You
mm,
understand me? To look for means to
mm,
save and wait. You understand me? If we eventually we enter into recession, all
mm,
global assets will tumble regarding price. So an opportunity to enter again is
mm.
the moment
So it's
I
it's more
always
like
wait for.
what happened in 2008, right?
God bless you. It's the moment I always wait for. I can't
mm,
wait for another financial crisis. I can't wait for another COVID-19 to happen.
mm,
Because during COVID-19, I was able to trade on the stock that I can't even afford as an
mm.
investor. When the price come down, I was able to buy those stocks. So that's why I always pray that the global economy should tumble so that
So
people
so so
like us that are
mhm.
trying to
So
come
what you are
up
saying is that this is a good time to actually go into
and
investments
to prepare
before
and
everything
prepare,
busts.
yes, prepare and go into investment. So two ways, you start preparing. If we
Mm,
the global economy slip into recession, opportunity to buy more. Right now, you can buy because the way everything look as now, the money you are holding has no value.
mm,
You understand? And on the
mm,
medium term, currency value globally has no positive direction. You
mm,
understand? Except the greenback, which is the US dollar, that
mm,
is oscillating back and forth. Or every other currency worthless
mm,
in price. So
mm, mm. So there's this thing talking about investment, right? You have helped me, in months past, to actually understand. We've had different conversation about this. So, for instance, now for instance, treasury bills is around 17%, right? Or bonds,
no, 16%, 16.
16%. Okay, good.
Yes,
So that even makes it uh better for me. So I'm looking at inflation, and inflation for the year is around 15%,
yes.
right?
So
So if you get where I'm going to, like, so if I invest my money for 16% against an inflation that is already 15%, so basically I'm just making around 1 point something
something.
percent, right?
Okay,
Which, okay, I'm
yes, I've
listening.
said two things. I've said two things during the meeting in Redeemed Christian Church of God. I said if you are investing in treasury bills at 15 point something percent, it look as if it's not attractive. You understand? But you have to make your investment quarterly. You invest during the first quarter, you come out with the profit and the capital, then you invest again in the second quarter, third quarter to the fourth quarter. Then you can make more money because you'll be making rollover return on investment plus your capital. But when you invest annually, it doesn't make sense. Now, government currently will be tempted to borrow more. The reason is to be able to do what to service recurrent and capital expenditure because the year is almost half. So government need to implement the budget. You understand me? There is pressure on the federal government. We want to borrow more. So when that happened, I see the price of treasury bills going as high as 17.5 to 18.5% by Q3, Q4. So once you finish your investment by Q2, come out with the profit and capital, then look for attractive rates to invest into.
I think that actually makes sense, because when you taught it on site, I actually just held it, right? And it's when I did the maths, it actually makes a lot of sense, because for a normal person or a beginner investor, they might feel, okay, 16% is cool, but by the time you take out the inflation of 15%, you find out that it's just 2%. But using your strategy of investing quarterly, that is 90 days, right?
Yes,
So invest every 90 days, you take out the capital, take out the returns, and you reinvest it
yes.
again.
Hard it
At the end
together,
of the
yes.
year, that actually makes more. Yeah, that
You
actually
can't
makes
make
more.
less than 25 to 23% at
Wow,
the end
at
of
the
the
end
year.
of the year.
Yes.
Mm, 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 mm. Oh, that's actually great. But what investment instruments can one invest in that can give you, like, say, 30% in a year?
And 30% return on investment is equity, stock. Value stock that has good value.
That is trading stocks or just buying and holding, then
No,
selling.
trading stock with good value, with broker that understand the trend of the market.
Hmm, hmm. Okay. That actually makes sense. But there's also the risk. Okay, like you said, Sha, good a broker that understands their work, because
The
many
market,
times the
the
market
market and the
actually. Hmm,
value stock. Some stock has no value, while
hmm,
some has good value. You understand me? So you have to buy into a value company, not
hmm,
company that has no value.
hmm.
There are companies
Wow.
that are about to collapse tomorrow, and there are companies that are about to rise up in terms of return, 100%. So that's
All
it.
right, and that knowledge is not something every beginner investor actually has.
There is no
You
how.
know,
It's information and research. There's no
yeah.
way you can get it. Even the
Mm,
so-called online platform cannot have the information, because we
mm,
always look for current information about
information.
every company listed.
Mm,
So
mm. Okay. All right. So I also wanted to actually talk about, maybe this would be like my final question, since you've spoken up, you've already done summary of part one. You've spoken about what you want to tell us today, which is the reason for investment. Maybe I have like two questions, right? Um, the first question I have, or the first thing I want to talk about is, you know, what is the can you like explain more or explain better the role of investments when it comes to, because myself, I'm not just thinking about me. I'm not just thinking about, okay, investing for myself, like, how much food can I eat, how many food can I eat, how many rooms or apartment can I live in part time, right? But I'm thinking about transgenerational, right? Leaving something for your children's children, right? So how does investment actually like play a key role? And especially, and also coupled with this, you can answer them together. For instance, you have somebody that is trading your stock for you, and something happens to you, right? How then does your children's children kind of benefit from, from your stocks, and the things that, the shares that you've bought and all that, basically.
okay, how to transfer of wealth. That's what we're talking about.
Exactly, true. Yeah.
It's simple. When you have investments, you understand me, in either the capital market, the money market, or maybe the commodity market on the currency market. It's simple. Your next of kin, while you are filling the form to start the investment, benefits from whatever you have. God forbid if anything happens. In the process, while you invest, you can decide to change your next of kin from your wife to your children, from your children to your brother, or to other relatives, depending on your decision.
Hmm. Oh, okay. All right. So, okay, I have a question. Yes, sir. Is equity mutual funds good to invest in?
Equity mutual fund is like when you how do I say it now? When you rely on others' brain, you understand me,
Hmm.
to invest. Mutual fund is actually when everybody or people, large number of people put their resources together to invest in one purse, and that one purse trade with the money. Whatever comes out at the end of the day as profit is what will be shared, subject to cost of operation, profit after tax, etc.
Hmm. Hmm. So it's more like giving control of your finances to somebody else.
Yes.
Hmm. Okay, but is that not the same thing like what you said about having like a broker that could trade your stock for you or something, or is it different?
It's different. A broker trade your direct account on your behalf, and you can decide to go into larger projects. Number one, you can decide to, you know, float a project of building an estate, building a company, investing for financial freedom with a large amount of money. But when you do mutual fund, you are giving your money to another person, and the money return on investment is subject to cost of operation of that particular company and
Mm,
tax and government tax. The burden of
government
tax
tax.
will be placed on you. Unlike when
Mm,
you give a broker to trade on your account directly, no burden of tax. All the returns come to you.
mm, mm. Oh, okay. That actually makes sense, because I know some mutual funds like there are many actually, where they can just tell you like a fixed, okay, if you're going to put in your money for mutual funds, money market, whatever that is, you're gonna get 16% at the end of the year, or
Because
70%
yes, because other cost of operation have been factored
operations.
in.
Yeah.
Yes, staff of salary, rent, logistics,
Mm,
etc. So
okay. And that means that they are making they are making money with your money. Maybe making
you are the one that says so. I don't know. I
maybe
don't
making like
know.
35%,
I,
40%,
I don't
50%.
know. You are the one that says so. You are the one using mutual fund, so I don't know.
Actually,
if mutual
actually,
fund, if mutual fund make 100%, will they tell you they make 100%? They won't tell you now. They won't
of
tell
course,
you.
it's risky. Everything
Uh,
everything is a risk. So lastly, can you I wanted to speak to people that I know you have said something about the fact that Nigeria is a good place to invest in, and you should prepare and plan to go into investment. But some other people are more like, with the insecurity going on, with the problems, with the not so good leadership, you know, they don't want to, like, for instance, now some people, I know some people that are close to me, they'll be like, oh, they don't want to buy land. For instance, I know we're not talking about real estate. For instance, they don't want to buy real estate in Lagos, so that one day they don't ask everybody to go to their states and their lands or properties are being confiscated, right? So in the midst of that, so I just want you to, like, speak to that, to help people have faith, not necessarily in the system per se, because it's very shaky, but in the fact that you can still make money while there's chaos.
okay. The simple truth about everything is Nigeria is a growing economy. So in the process of growth, a lot of things will happen. It's just like when you are traveling on a journey. When you are traveling on a journey, you expect traffic, traffic, roadworthiness, bombs, etc. Will be like a stumbling block while you are going. But so long as you continue on the journey, you will arrive at your destination. So everyone that pull out or that lost confidence in the Nigerian economy has done nothing to themselves than doing a big damage, because at the end of the day, no matter where you travel to or no matter where you go, you will surely come back home. So the best advice for you is invest in your own country with the guide of financial advisor. The problem is we look at investment as if we decide what should be cooked as a dinner or as a lunch in our household. It's more than that. You need a financial advisor. You need an expatriate beside you to lead you and guide you. The problem is when you say a lawyer, you understand me? A lawyer will work for you to do what? To make sure that your property, your will have been put in place and you pay them for it. An economist like me, what you pay me for is to do what? To give you the guide on your finance. And because finance um, and investment is foreign to us in Africa, Shebi is person that eats today's food that will think of investment. That's the reason why it looks as if our market is not selling. But
Mm,
our market is selling when you meet rich people that has investment empire. They have guides. So let me give you an hint. Dangote today become who he is as a result of too many financial advisors around him and advise him. Where Dangote started from is from the acquisition of national salts, Obajana cement, etc. Oga, this company good o. Make we give you money, make you buy. And I say, if I buy, I go take me profit. You go, they produce salts now. And that was how Dangote began to buy all the national assets in Nigeria. I know the story of Obajana is somehow strange in your ears. It was 20 years ago. You understand me? No, 19 years ago. That was in
mm,
2006. The story of national salt is about 30 years ago. That's around 2005 or 2004. The same way Dangote bought all the national assets. So it's not Dangote that made him to become Dangote, but as a result of financial advisor. I was a young graduate when Dangote bought into national salt. And my bank, Intercontinental Bank, then was one of the banks that, that put Dangote in front to be able to buy national salt. You understand? The consortium of banks puts resources together for him to buy that particular asset. So what I'm saying is, for you to build a financial or wealth empire, you need a financial advisor beside you. So it's as simple as that. So I will continue to advise people that this economy is a virgin economy where people can invest. You understand me? When you buy an acre of land today, in another 20 years, that acre of land worth billions of naira. So think about it. When you buy penny stock today, company like let me look which company is penny stock there. Okay, let me look at VFD Group. If you buy VFD Group today, VFD Group is just 10 naira 50 kobo today. But the company is into the key sector of the economy that drive the economy at large. One, real estate. Number two, investment banking. Number three, banking. Number three, entertainment. You understand me? Somewhere around what's it called? Somewhere around Maverton, Ikoyi. That's where VFD Group resource center is located, and people flooding there every day. In another 10 years, this company must have become a big conglomerate. So think about company that has value that are invested into diverse sectors of the economy. So that is
mm,
how
mm,
it works.
mm, Thank you very, very much.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very, very much. Really, I really enjoyed this session. We'll be rounding off very soon in a minute. Some I think Fumilayo said, "Do you manage?" Yes, of course. You can manage your portfolio. Mr. Adejare actually manages my portfolio, my shares investment portfolio, and he's fantastic, right? Every time I look at I log in and I look at what he's doing, I'm glad that I'm making more commitments, right, to put in more money, because the idea of investment, if I've listened to other webinars that we've had, is that you have to come to a place, you have to plan and be on a journey towards where your money works for you, right? Not you working for money and getting salary at the end of 30 days, but that your money can be working for you and be bringing in returns to you every month or every year. said, okay, there's another question here. It says, so which brokers can you advise one should run with, and how can one deduce the right broker from the wrong ones? What red flags should one look out for when trying to pick one? So I'll allow Mr. Adejare answer that one. How do you what are the red flags or what are the green flags for brokers when it comes to choosing brokers?
When it comes to choosing broker, just join me with Regency Asset Management. I won't give you any red light or green light. Join me with Regency Asset Management. That's my partner. That's all.
Oh, okay, so yeah, I think that's more like straightforward. Yeah, so you can join in to actually, like I said, he runs that for me, he runs that for a couple of my colleagues at work, right? I got to know him through one of my colleagues that have been using him for years, and he has been doing fantastically well. Remind me again, your returns per year over time has been within 30 to 80, right?
35 to 80.
35 to 80%, right? Can you imagine that? So
That's the
based on
range.
that's the range. So based on his experience, based on what he has done, I'm not telling you what he can do. He has been in this for more than 20 years. So based on what he has done, he has been able to do between 35 to 80%, right? 35 to 80% per annum. And this is not like audio investment, right? So the name of the company he runs with is Regency. Regency is, let me spell Regency for you.
Regency Asset
Regency
Management
Assets
Management
Management
Limited.
Limited. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Regency. I just sent it to the chat box. Regency Assets Management Limited. So that we don't it doesn't look as if we are trying to sell you anything. You can find out from you can get your broker yourself, right? Like somebody asked about mutual fund, you can go to just search on Google, right? You can see any broker you want to deal with. They will tell you what they promise to give you, 16%, 17%, whatever that is. And like he has explained, it's that percentage is based on other factors, right? Payment of salaries, whatever. They'll promise you to give you that percent, right? But I prefer to actually go with him because it's risky. You understand, right? It's risky, but I prefer to still go with him because I'm going to get more, basically, right? I'm going to get more. So if you need Mr. Adejare's number, you want to chat him up, you want to pick his brain, or you want to still like know, do you want to deal with him or not? Just chat me up on WhatsApp. Find if you are in the Connectors Place group, or you're on the WhatsApp channel or WhatsApp group, just find my number, chat me up. I will give you Mr. Dejare's um contact details. You can chat with him, and he's going to put you through on how you know the but please do your research. This is not a financial advice, right? So do your own research by yourself. You know, and let your heart, let your spirits lead you. And but if you need any if you have any questions for me, you can also still ask me on WhatsApp. I'm going to respond to you in terms of investments. And we have other videos that we have on YouTube about investments that we are going to that you can actually learn from. Mr. Adejare, thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. Do you have in just like 1 minute, can you give me your last words? Give us your last words for tonight. Are you still there? Mr. Adejare? All right, guess is He's no more here with us. But thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Please follow us on Instagram at The Connectors Place. Follow us on YouTube at The Connectors Place. Just type The Connectors Place. You will see us. I'm also going to, by the time I upload this recording, I'm going to share the link on the platforms. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, hit me up on WhatsApp. Till I see you guys next time. God bless you. Be good.